Now we're going to go ahead and move on to questions. The first question is, suppose that your first set of cultures do not grow as expected. Instead, there is only a slight amount of growth in the tube or the plate. Explain why this might have occurred and suggest steps that you could take to adjust or correct for the future experiments. If my first set of cultures do not grow as I expected them to, this could occur because the plates have become contaminated with fungi or bacteria from the environment. So I will have to wash my plates or tubes with 10% bleach solution and then let them dry. Once they are dry, I have to reattempt the lab, and in the future, I would hope that this would not happen again, and I would have to make for sure to wipe and clean my area with alcohol wipes or 10% bleach, and make for sure that every time I do come in with a lab that I make for sure I wash my hands, I put on clean gloves, and then I would attempt it again. Then exercise 3. So we have the microbiology safety, the normal flora, and it's called for the microbe. It's Escherichia coli, and the body location is usually in the lower intestines, which is in your stomach. And the possible benefits of getting E. coli is vitamin K12, and this is, if you get this is to prevent blood clots, where some people have and can pass away from blood clots. So we don't want that. So that is a possible benefit. The potential dangers of E. coli is diarrhea, nobody wants that, pneumonia, which is horrible, respiratory illnesses, and UTI. And my information source is from the www.cdc.gov website. And another one is staph epidermis, which is staph on your skin. And the body location is your skin. And the possibility benefits is fighting off harmful microorganisms. And the potential dangers is things like boils on the skin, endocarditis, and wounds, sinuses, infections, sepsis, which could lead to death if it's not taken care of. Also, again, my information source is from www.cdc.gov. Now we're going to go to a scenario. You must prepare for your work surface for working with cultures. My response is to always make for sure that I have a clean, uncluttered work surface when handling all of my microbial cultures, and clean my area, and I will make for sure that I have 10% bleach solution before and after all my procedures, and do not have any type of foods or drinks in the area while I'm performing my experiments. Scenario: you spill a liquid culture on the floor. What is your response? I will cover the spill with paper towels and saturate the paper towels with 10% bleach and retain the spill for about 15 minutes. Scenario: you must dispose of the culture, and my response is I would soak all this disposable equipment in bleach for 2 hours before wrapping it in paper towels, sealing the plastic bag, and placing it in a trash, keeping it away again from children and pets. Scenario: you are pregnant and are suffering from a compromised immune system and considering working with cultures. What is my response? I will contact my physician before working with any cultures to make for sure I am cleared to work on the cultures. And thank goodness that I am not pregnant. Don't plan to be. And let's go over to explain the specific safety precautions that you will be taking as you complete these labs. The specific safety precautions I will be taking as I complete these labs is to maintain a clean workspace, Make sure my hands are clean by washing them before and after, but before, of course, placing on clean gloves and performing my labs, keeping food and drinks away from my lab table, keep away from my children, and clean up all the equipment again with 10% bleach, wrap in paper towels, place in a plastic sealed bag, and throwing away in the trash. The lab reflection. In 100 to 300 words, respond to at least the following paragraphs, or excuse me, the prompts, I'm sorry. So now I have to explain how I properly plan on time management, as it is crucial for this to be successful in the lab's completion. Proper planning, time consuming, and time managers are very crucial. And I would have to make for sure that I manage my time appropriate. The best thing to do is always look at the syllabi and see how many days or how many hours is needed for the incubation, and make for sure that I prepare. So my goal is always to look at my labs and my assignments on Sundays, every Sunday of the week, so that way I know how long I need to prepare for my incubation. I also can always refer back to my calendars and my lessons that I have wrote down when the days are due, which is every Monday, as well as how long I need to prepare. So this would give me enough time to prepare for my lab. So if it's going to take 3 days, I need to start, 4 or 5 days before to make for sure that I have all my materials and I start in a proper time to get my labs done. To meet all my deadlines. Your lab materials are limited, and it is important to minimize your errors and wastes. So now I am to describe how I will prepare for successful prior to my lab exercises, and I plan on to preparing myself to make for sure that I have all my materials ready for all my labs. By making for sure again to read my syllabus, to go through my materials to make sure I have everything, and if not, I need to make sure that I let the school know as well as the ordering package. And as of right now, I have everything, so there is no reason to fail. Second question, what specific suggestions do you have to improve in this lab activities? I would say that I just wish that I had my lab material on time, like I stated before. School started on the 10th of January, and I did not receive my materials until the 17th of January. So by the time I got my lab material, the assignment was due. So I didn't have anything to turn in because my lab material wasn't delivered to me on time. So I would suggest that hopefully in the future, the successful coach would have everything in order for their students, so that way they can order their lab packs and materials, so that way they can get it in time. If there's any confusion in existing labs of itself, how might this confusion be avoided? If I should have any confusion on my labs, in order to avoid being behind or not getting the assignments done on time, I would make for sure that I would reach out to my professor by email in a timely manner, not the day that it's due or after. Like I said, look through your syllabi, make for sure everything is done and you have your due dates as well as like the calendar. I would say, okay, am I supposed to do something like this, and ask her before ahead of time, so I know if I do have any confusions or questions, I can ask her. I think the professor is the best source. In the past, I have emailed out to my peers, and sometimes they don't know themselves or they give incorrect information. So I think the best person to go to is actually my professor. So I would reach out to my professor in a timely manner. So I always look at my syllabi Sunday, the week before everything is due, and I kind of look over it and say, okay, I don't understand this. Am I supposed to do this or am I supposed to do that? So I think if I follow through with all the things that I feel will be properly and correctly of any spills, starting my cultures and incubations, making for sure that I start my labs in a mannerly time, and also if I have any type of confusions to reach out to my instructor. So I think I'm good to go for this class. Thank you so much for your time. Bye-bye.